welcome to episode 5 of the Lincoln Seat Project. If you haven't watched episode 4, go and watch it, and then come back to this episode, because in this episode I'm going to be assembling everything that was designed and manufactured in the last episode. Now let's get started. A little bit ago we saw these H-frames being made, and I took the seat with me over to the shop and we made sure that everything fit before I left. But just to show everyone here, so width-wise, it's right where it should be. Height-wise, it's right where it should be. At least where I designed it to be. I can't lay it flat on there now because I've got the alignment pins. So I'll go ahead and drill those first. That way I can set the frame on here, and then I'll go ahead and pull the trim off. That way I can match drill where I need the actual mounting holes to be. I have the hole locations marked. Should be ready to go. 1 7/8 inches from the bottom to the center, and 15/16 brings it to center or left to right. I'll go ahead and try to do this on my super sturdy workbench out here. Alright, now with the trim pieces off, let's see if it fits. Okay. Pretty much like it should be. The only thing is it looks like the floor of the car has a little bit of a slope at the front. But I think if I just take a pair of pliers, I can maybe flatten that out. And it shouldn't be a problem. I was able to take a pair of channel locks here and just bend the feet flat. And now if I put this on, we've got 3 of the feet sitting flat, and then this one is off by a bit. So what happened when this plate was plasma cut out, there's so much material missing that it warped a little bit overall, and if you set 3 of the feet where they're supposed to be, then all of that warping kind of shows up in this corner over here. But the plate has enough flex to it that I can bolt this corner down and the plate will flatten out. And then with the weight of the seat on it, it'll sit flat on the floor. So I'm not going to worry about this. And it looks like I can get away with not having to shim up anything. It'll all sit flat enough. Alright, now hopefully everything will line up. Let's see. And make sure it goes the right way. I do have a left and a right. The holes ended up slightly off center, so I gotta make sure I have it in the right orientation. Okay. Oh, shit. Well, thing I didn't take into account was that these alignment pins will collide with the leg of the chair. Well, I guess I can just take the grinder and grind this off flush, grind off both of these flush, and shouldn't be a problem after that. But it looks like everything, hole-wise, it looks like everything lines up. Yeah, everything lines up perfect. So I guess I'll go ahead, I'll grind these off some, and then I'll just duplicate what I did here on the frame for the other seat. We got both of the seat frames all drilled out. So now I'm just gonna hit them real quick with the grinding wheel to knock the burrs off and clean up the edges a little bit. And then these will be ready for paint once I wipe them down and give them a quick sanding. I was gonna powder coat them, but since how they're gonna be so hidden, I'll just hit it with some satin black Rust-Oleum paint, call it a day. And after I'm finished with that, I'll come over to both seats and cut off probably about half of the stud that's sticking out so that I don't have the interference with the top of the leg and the stud sticking out. Alright, I trimmed down the studs on this side. There we go. No, that's good enough. It's not perfect, but at least they're tucked up inside. Alright, next thing I'm going to work on is trying to get the switch clusters to fit into the recess a little better. So my buddy, he was able to get the cutout almost right, and it works perfect around the chrome piece, but got these little clips that poke out that the 3D scanner didn't capture. So I've marked those locations on the back side, and I'll take the Dremel with a router bit, and I'll try to router out those areas so that this will sit down in it where it's supposed to. I think that's as good as I can do, because it's sitting on this webbing in the back and on this ledge around the side here. Now, if you look at it from the side, the door panel curves a little bit, and this follows a curve, so it's not going to be completely flat. Anyway, so I'll just have to play around with it and get it kind of a little better position. I may have to bin with some brown paint or something just to go around the outside where you see the edge, but it'll be down low next to you, so it won't be too noticeable. And I'll just do the same with the other side. Here we are out back at my fancy paint booth, and I've got the seat frames ready to go. I wiped them down with acetone and then sanded with 150 and then wiped down with acetone again. I'm not worried about sand scratches or anything, so 150's fine. And I'm going to be hitting them with some Rust-Oleum automotive primer and then Rust-Oleum satin black. And we'll pick it up when they're done. Well, I've got my frames painted. They look pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and fully assemble the passenger seat. I'm waiting on this piece for the driver's seat. Half of it was broken off, so I ordered a new one. So I'll go ahead and get the passenger seat all put back together. And once these have to go on first, so I'll put these on. I'll trim down, I think it's this side. I have to trim down the inside of it so that it fits against the frame on the underside of the seat. So I'll do that, and then once I've got the legs on it and it's sitting on the ground, I can go ahead and put the side pieces back on the seat, and I can put the back of the seat together. And there it is. Everything's snapped together like it should. Trim looks nice and finished. I might need to replace this piece because it cracked, but I can try gluing it. Should be fine. Slide this up a little bit to close that gap. So you'll kind of see this side of the seat, and uh-oh, looks like that came unclipped. I'll have to fix that. But you'll pretty much see this side of the seat, and the front of it. It looks pretty finished. This side of the seat had the seat belt, so you'll see this little bit of bracket and some of the trim here, but this side you'll have the little table sitting in between, so you won't really see anything on this side. But once my trim piece comes in, I'll do the same with the driver's seat. And here we have the final product. I've got both seats fully assembled, all of their trim is fully assembled, the center console table is assembled, and we can see the switch cluster in the side. So that's all done. Everything is done with the frames. So that pretty much finishes up this video on the design and the assembly of the seats. And stay tuned for the next video where I'll be finishing up the electrical, and that'll pretty much finish up the project. So thanks for watching.